Hello everyone. In this week's video, I head out to an area in Canada that I have not photographed before. I go there with my good friend James. He is fresh into starting his own business. So while we drive out there to the location, we have a little bit of a conversation and I share some thoughts about how I think that photographers aren't really growing, whether it's as a business or simply just as a hobby. And you'll notice that this is something that most professionals are doing, and I find it's always the beginners or people who are kind of stuck in the middle. They get a little bit lost in this. So I do hope that these tips really help you out if you are looking to grow. And as always, please take it with a grain of salt because I am simply only sharing the things that have helped me and helped me on my journey. Then we get to Drumheller and I take you behind the scenes of creating a yellow dress self-portrait there, but also some abstract images. Please subscribe if you guys are enjoying this channel, and I hope that you enjoy the video.
Hey fam!
Hey fam! Oh, you're recording.
I'm recording now. Oh god, I'm gonna giggle the whole time. Hey fam!
Hey fam!
We're on an adventure. We're going to Drumheller, and there's no clouds, and we're gonna do some landscape photography, abstracts, and then possibly a blue hour yellow dress shot. But since there's no abstracts, since there is no clouds in the sky, I already know that I've seen pictures of this place before, so I already know that there's going to be cool patterns in the Badlands that I can play around with and play around with light. So it's not a place for the grand landscape scene, except for when I go to do the yellow dress self-portrait. Then I will incorporate that, but at blue hour. Yeah. So that's the plan. This is James, by the way.
Yeah.
James. Hi, James.
Hi. We're gonna go shoot no abstracts.
So, how are we gonna get through this when I'm laughing the whole time?
That's on you.
I know, this is my video. Perfect example of what I want to talk about because he's fresh into starting up a business. By the way, I think that this could apply. It doesn't matter if you're trying to like monetize or make a living off of your photography. Like, growing is growing. So whether you're growing a skill and you just want to be more recognized for it, maybe win some competitions, or you want to make a business out of it, like, I feel that this applies to everybody who's trying to do something with their photography. And to the people who just don't give a damn, this doesn't apply to you guys. So just enjoy the video as it is. So if I was in James's position and I was starting out, because I think this held me back for many years of like reaching I obviously have financial goals and I want to do this for a living, which I do it for a living, but that's, one of my main focuses. So
It's just a bump in the road.
It's just a bump in the road. Okay. So and I also have experience with what I did, like how I built my, I guess, photography company up, because I did do everything all at once. Honestly, nowadays with like how popular content creators and creatives are on social media, like it's almost just exploded. You don't really have these opportunities anymore to, how do we say it, to fuck around and find out. Like, yeah, it's true.
Language.
I know, language. You don't really have those opportunities anymore. Like, there's people out there that have figured it out and are going hard, and like what they're building is quite incredible. So if I can go back in time, I definitely don't think that experimenting is a bad thing. You definitely need to experiment, but if I really wanted to build something and make monetize from it, I would have focused on one thing. There's way more. So now I focus on like landscapes and the yellow dress self-portraits, these two things. And actually, since letting go a lot of what I was doing before, like I was doing everything. I was doing weddings, I was doing family shoots, just everything, this whole umbrella of work. And as soon as I dropped that and I started to actually focus and like build this high skill in these two areas, my income increased, my opportunities increased, everything increased when I let go of so much of the other stuff that I was doing. So of course, like following your dreams and your passion is king, but queen is learning how to properly run a business and grow something. And there's just basic common sense rules around that you can't really break. And until obviously, you master it and you get ahead of it, then of course, start going outside of the box and outside of the rules. That's all I wanted to say. Now we're gonna go out shooting. So the lesson of this video was niche and focus on one thing. There's so many opportunities, and so many opportunities for growth and so many opportunities for monetization if you really just focus on one thing.
Don't give up. Chase your dreams.
Chase your dreams!
So I've made it out. I am near Drumheller. Many of you who live in Alberta or have lived in Alberta or maybe even just visited the area will know the spot that I'm at. It's I think it's called the Hoodoos something. Anyways, this is the first time that I have been here. So I don't have much, as you can see, the light is starting to go down. It's absolutely beautiful, but I don't have much scouting time. I already have the yellow dress shot planned out. I know exactly where I'm doing that. I already scouted it. That's going to happen at blue hour, so obviously keep watching and stay in the video so you can see that. But right now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of walking around looking for different landscape scenes, but also very like abstract scenes. And I have found something that actually has nothing to do with the hoodoos at all. I found this little sort of stream because the snow is starting to melt, so the mud is coming. So I found this stream that is kind of going through the mud and it's creating all these cool little veins. So I would wish that the beautiful light that is behind me was hitting it, but it's not. So I don't know how it's going to look in the camera, but I think that I can really pull out some of the gold of the mud, but then the blue of the shadows as well. So I'm hoping that this shot works out, and let me just show you the back of the camera and what I'm creating from it. It's not bad. It looks really bad on the camera right now, but it really needs that light to be hitting it. I might be able to pull something out because actually a lot of that is frozen ice. It's cool. We'll see how it turns out.
Promise I'll jump if you catch me. Been floating so long, won't you let me love you? The altitude is wearing on my...
So the light is going down. Exactly what I thought was going to happen is happening. All of the clay is starting to take on like sort of this really beautiful pink color. So that's essentially what I've been waiting for to do the self-portrait, because the light was just a little bit too harsh. So I'm probably going to set up very soon. It's getting cold, so I'm going to do the self-portrait in the cold. But I'm going to set up and probably do the self-portrait part right away, and then I'll wait a little bit until we're more at the blue hour, and then I will finish the rest of the scene because I like to have sort of that blue hour sky, especially again because there's no clouds. The reason why I do it in two parts, and sometimes I do myself a little bit earlier as the self-portrait part of the image, is because to make sure that I have enough light on me so that I'm not too much in shadow or there's not a lot of noise. I just find it a little bit easier to work with when I am more lit than the actual scene. star of the show, the main image that I went out to this area to photograph. I am, for only having 1 hour before I started to photograph this, I'm fairly happy with how it turned out, but there's definitely some things I would do differently, and I am going to do differently when I go back. 100% the posing. I kind of rushed the posing for myself because I was cold, and sometimes I just get very tired of photographing myself out in the cold. I wish I would have. I didn't actually look at the back of the camera before I started getting dressed again. I just needed to get warm in that moment. So now looking back, I look through all the images, I can see where I struggled with the posing. So that is definitely what I am going to redo. And I don't think I will photograph this as when I am doing it with a portrait. I don't think that I will have my camera so tilted upwards because it really makes it tricky for a portrait. So posing is the one thing that I would change. And then of course I would love to photograph this under different lighting conditions. So as you can tell, or weather conditions I should say, as you can tell, this is a composite. So the sky was photographed after, the other bits were photographed during the portion of what you guys see. I actually love having the stars in the sky for this. I think that it definitely adds another element to a Sarah Lindsay yellow dress portrait. So I had a lot of fun actually putting this together, and it was really easy to put the sky in. So overall, I'm fairly happy with the image. Other than the posing, I would definitely do that differently the next time and different weather conditions. Anyways, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed the message of the video as well. As we go along, I will definitely share more of my thoughts on growing, whether it's a business or just your hobby. And yeah, next week I'm going to put out a video where I have just switched to one of Shimoda's smallest bags. So I'm going to put out a video of how I travel with that and like how I take it on the airline and or the airplanes and all of that fun stuff. So again, please subscribe and I will see you guys next week. Bye.
James just recently quit his job, full-time job as an electrician.
Oh boy.
Okay, hi. Hi.
Oh, that's a stop sign.
James, what are we doing? What in the heck? Okay.
Just stop.
I have my tripod, like how... Hi. I want to get better at talking to the camera when other people are around. I think I do a good job no matter what.
Pat yourself on the back there.
Yes, exactly. Chase your dreams!
Chase them! No! Well, we know where this is going.